So we have officially reached the spring Sephora Savings Event once again, and I am here as your sale fairy godmother to help guide you in the right direction when it comes to the sale. So I think it's really important to kind of like cut through all of the sale noise because we know that it gets noisy. And I personally feel pulled in every direction during the sale with people's hauls, recommendations, even de-influencing products. It really gets hard to kind of organize my thoughts. And because of that, it gets really easy to just open up my Sephora app and do a quick little same-day delivery. And I am pretty confident in saying that I don't think I'm the only one who struggles with this. So today I'm going to be sharing with you guys 3 things that I'm skipping, 3 things that I am buying, and how I recommend that you shop the sale this time around. Before I get into it, I really want to give you guys a couple of disclaimers. There is no shame in wanting to shop the sale. For the most part, buying something on sale is more responsible than buying something full price at the end of the day. And if you want to treat yourself, as far as I'm concerned, you should do that, as long as you're not putting yourself in a bad financial position and you're shopping from a healthy mindset, which I say that because for a very long time, I've had a shopping addiction. It is very real. It's hard to deal with, and I'm still myself trying to learn and reel that in. And with that being said, there is no shame in not wanting to shop the sale. Maybe you already have all the products that you want, or maybe you don't have money to spare that you want to use for the sale. Or if you still have products that you want to finish up that are similar to the ones that you have your eye on, that's also totally okay. I completely understand that as well. And I don't think anyone should feel any which way if someone does or does not want to shop. Really, I'm not here to encourage or discourage you either way. I have no control over what you guys buy. And all I can do is share my advice based on my experiences with shopping the sale myself. And I will tell you guys right now that I feel like doing a huge haul really isn't worth it if you don't get the 20%. I could maybe justify the 15% to 10% if I'm restocking things that I would buy full price anyways, that I know that I love, but I would definitely hesitate more in general otherwise. Do not forget that for the most part, these products will be here next time, and you'll be surprised at how long your makeup products that you have will last you. Skincare and body care may go faster, but if you're like me, you may get bored or want to play with new products. So I only suggest getting backups if you know that you're going to continue loving it in the next year. And I say within the next year because I feel like you may already have similar products, so you'll take a bit longer to use something if you're not using it every single day. So for instance, maybe you want to buy an expensive lotion, but you already have another expensive lotion that you're using and you kind of flip-flop between the two. Okay, so let's get into the things that I am not buying. First one, hyped products that I already know won't work for my current preferences. Personally for me, I know that right now I'm not really into dewy products. Now 2 years ago, if you spoke to me, I was all about the dewy products, and I very rarely use something like a matte foundation. So for instance, the new MPH Low Skin Weightless Serum Foundation, this is a new product that's marketed as being a natural finish, but I have seen reviews and people saying that this is more so a dewy finish. So I know even if I liked this formula, it really wouldn't be something that I would naturally reach for these days, especially going into the summer. Me being oily, acne prone, I know that it's something that would just be a little bit more upkeep when I'm wearing it. And the same thing goes with cool toned lipsticks or lip products. I personally won't be buying the new Fenty Gloss Bomb Stick in the shade Rose Amber, even though I love the formula, I love the texture, I love the longevity of these lipsticks. I think they are very well done, but I know that for me, a cool tone lipstick is a lot harder to use, and because of that, I don't naturally gravitate towards them. So it doesn't really make sense for me to go for something that everyone else is excited for, but I know it's just not going to have long-term use in my collection. Now, I do want to say that it doesn't mean that the products that I'm going to be skipping on aren't good products. I think it's important to remember that everyone has different preferences, and your preferences can change throughout a year or month or week what have you. I just won't get the most use out of them, and I want to avoid having things just kind of sit around. And by the way, this also goes for products that I might like, but maybe not fully. So let me give you guys an example. The Summer Fridays lip stain pens that recently came out. I have historically really liked the format of a lip stain pen. There are a lot that I think work really well, and I think they all kind of follow the same sort of format. However, with this specific brand launch and the colors, there's not one lip color or lip stain pen shade that I feel like I would reach for over the ones I already own. They look beautiful, but I know myself, I'm not going to be wearing a hot pink or even a pink in general. I'm not going to be wearing a red, and that only really leaves me with the shade Almond out of the whole color story that they have going on here. And just looking at this, I know that I already have lip stain pens that are very similar in shade to this. So because of that, I think that this is definitely something that I'm going to be skipping, even though I'm pretty sure I would like it anyways. So now, if you are someone that is still kind of struggling with this, there's a product that you think you may actually like, but it doesn't fall within your usual preferences, I would suggest that you do this. If you are eyeing something, check your existing collection for a similar product and use it for a few days. See if it's going to fill that gap and bring you joy. And if it doesn't, then maybe consider adding the product to your wish list. And by the way, we will be utilizing the favorites and the wish lists within Sephora's site and app in a little bit, so just hold that thought with the wish lists. Okay, the second thing I will not be buying, blind buying fragrances. So essentially, blind buying a fragrance is when you purchase a fragrance without smelling it first, and you simply rely on the notes of the fragrance, the reviews, or the brand reputation and your relationship with existing products that you may already have. And I can tell you guys right now that I'm pretty sure almost every Sephora sale that I have shopped, I have purchased a fragrance, whether I've smelt it or not. And this has worked out for me maybe like 1 out of 5 times when I haven't already smelled the fragrance. So let me kind of explain my thought process here. So committing to a full bottle of fragrance is really hard, whether you have a large or small collection, because it's still a product that you essentially have to use up. And when it comes to fragrances, you can only use so many in one given day, or at least me, you know? Even though I've been layering my fragrances and stuff, I definitely have a collection that I feel like is going to last me quite a long time. And even though there are a ton of really good, very reputable fragrance reviewers out there that I know and I love, it's so difficult to find someone that has the same exact taste as you. Everyone's taste in fragrance is different. One note can completely throw me like from wanting a fragrance in general, and it's really hard to gauge it with reviews. Like I said, unless you have identical taste to someone, which honestly would be very, very lucky, and I'm very jealous of you. If anything, honestly, I would suggest going with a travel sized product. It's not going to be the most cost effective, but if you know that you're not going to return something, because I know some of you out there don't necessarily like to return things, even though we can return, it's less of a chance of wasting money and less of a chance of wasting product. And when you buy the travel fragrances, you're essentially paying for the convenience at the end of the day. So my suggestion for you guys, if you are planning on buying fragrance, specifically blind buying fragrances, I would encourage you not to, and I would say to look for fragrance samples with purchase. You know how there's like constantly free samples of perfumes and stuff whenever you buy something? I would say to look for that. See if it's available at another retailer around you so you can test it first. Maybe if you have a Nordstrom near you, a Dillard's near you, a Macy's near you, see if you can just smell the fragrance. I really feel like almost every fragrance that's come out has had some sort of sampler eventually, and maybe if you don't buy it now, you may be able to get a tester at some point, and then when the next sale comes around, whether it be Sephora or not, you'll know what your thoughts are. And also, I would say don't underestimate those little sample fragrances. They last long enough for you to really decide if you want to buy it the next time it's on sale, and depending on your collection size, those samples, they can last for weeks. I I've had little mini fragrance samples for so long, and I sometimes forget that I have them, and it's actually pretty fun whenever I go through them and I'm like, what fragrance is this? Okay, the third thing that I'm not going to be buying into this sale is multiple shades of a product that I have not tried yet. I am so guilty of this. If I'm curious about something, I'm like, oh, I like both of these shades, I'm just gonna get both. The problem with this is if you end up not liking it, then you have double, you know what I mean? Or if it's just an okay product, I find myself thinking like, oh, I could have used this money towards something else, and then I have like little mini regrets, but I try not to like overthink it. But no, you should really think about where your money is going. And again, huge caveat, if you are someone that likes to return things, you can return them, no problem. I have returned things because they weren't really the shades that I thought that they would be in person, but this kind of is more so for people that don't want to return things, whether it's just like you don't feel comfortable returning makeup you've already tried, or you just don't like the thought of creating more waste. So my example of this, the Ciel Flush and Protect powder blushes, I was 100% certain that I would love these blushes because at this point, every product that I had tried from Ciel, I had really loved, I'd had really good luck with, but the blushes, the powder blushes just kind of fell short for me. They weren't my favorites. And then another example for you guys, the Revlon Photo Ready Blur lip liners. I talked about this in a separate video. I didn't like these at all, but then I had them for quite a while because I was doing a showdown video, like wear testing them. And by the time I had gotten to testing these, I had them for over the return date, like the return window. So I ended up with two, and I just didn't like the formula at all. Currently in my favorites wish list, I have two shades of the new MAC liquid eyeshadows. So I am going to really look at this, and I'm going to limit myself to just one shade. Now, if you find yourself still wanting multiple shades, my advice to you is if you really want to, buy one early into the sale. Like I'm saying the first day of the sale, so you can get it in before the sale ends, and then once you get it, try it out, wear it for a few days, and if you love it, you really feel like you need another shade, then buy it before the sale ends. I think this is a really great way to try the formula and really see how it like meshes within your makeup routine before buying into multiple that you may not even need in the first place. Okay, now for the fun part, what I am going to be buying. So the first thing is products that are in my favorites list. I have a running Sephora Sale wish list favorites where I add things as they come out or as my curiosity for that specific product grows. And that is going to be the first place that I am looking when I'm considering adding things to my cart. I treat this as my basket, as my options of what I might get, so I can kind of narrow it down before I put it in my cart. And then at that point, I'll narrow it down even further if I can. So for example, I have the main Fresh Fluff Dry Shampoo Foam in my Sephora Sale wish list. And the reason why is because I have been curious about this since they launched it. And it's also in a format that I don't have yet. And I think that it might be something that I might like. So I have it in there. It's probably one of the long-standing products that I've had in this list. So I'm very seriously considering this product because I've already been thinking about it. Doing this also kind of stops me from getting all hype and excited about new things. So for example, the MAC Multi-Sculpt Matte Liquid Eyeshadows. Now I know that these are pretty new, but the reason why I'm using this as an example is because I like a one and done liquid eyeshadow that is plain, typically matte, and multi-use. And again, as far as I know, these aren't like the newest release, the newest product, or the most viral product at that, but I know my preferences and I'm pretty sure that I'm going to like it. The second thing I am going to be buying during the sale is restocks of favorite products that I have already finished up. So the first one that comes to mind, the Josie Maran Vanilla Vibes Body Butter. I'm restocking this one because I finished this so quickly, and not only that, I loved it from start to finish, and it's something that I have been thinking about, and I'm like, man, I can't wait to get that again. It's definitely something that I already have proven to myself is worth the money, so this is something that I feel confident in restocking. Another thing that I feel comfortable restocking, I have finished two of my favorite Too Faced pillow balms. I have used them morning and night and throughout the day religiously. I got so much use out of these, and I don't finish up lip products often, even if it's like a lip balm or lip treatment, and I felt like this did exactly what I wanted them to do. I enjoyed them from start to finish, which I am learning is very, very important for me. And the third thing that I am going to be buying are shades of products I already love that I've had my eye on for quite some time. So an example, I am a huge fan of Violette FR in general. I have learned this about myself. I'm pretty sure the first time I tried them was this time last year during last year's sale, but the lip nectars from Violette FR has become a holy grail. I use these so often, and I have seen significant use out of my products. Like, I am seeing it go down. And the Violette lip nectar in the new red orange shade, I will put the name right here for you guys. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be buying this one because one, I know I love the formula, and two, I think it's genuinely a color that I would like, and it's not just like an exciting new launch, you know what I mean? Because they did release two shades, but really I was looking at them and I was like, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to get the most use out of this red orange shade. And same thing goes with the Violette U paints. I really want this beautiful like pearly purple shade because I used the green like beetle shade that I bought during another sale so much. I use it so often, and I know that the formula works for me. I know that I like the longevity of it, and I love the finish of it. And while again, they're not going to be the newest launch, they still excite me so much, and I know that I'm going to use them because the pops of colors are just so easy for me to wear in terms of the textures and formulas. And because of that, it makes it a lot easier to incorporate them within my eye look. And also, I thought I would mention a little bonus because I know it's not applicable for everyone, but for me, another thing that I am going to be buying are formulas that I'm curious about that I also feel like you guys may want to see from me, whether you've told me or if it's just something I have a feeling about. And I guess you guys can take this one and kind of substitute it as products that I'm curious about. So for example, the Dior Forever Skin Bronzing Balm. They recently came out with a bronzer stick, and because it's so expensive, I feel like you guys typically like to see what other people think about it before you buy it, which completely fair. And I honestly feel like it makes sense for me to spend my money on something that will essentially give you guys some information to help you decide if it's something that's going to work for you or not. And I'm looking at my list right now, but same thing goes with the Sarah Creel Pressed Mousse blushes. Recently launched these, they're $45, and I'm sure you guys want to know if it's going to be something that is a substitute or something very similar to the Rare Beauty, the Glossier, the Sochi like bouncy blushes that they have, especially because it is going to be a higher price point. All right, now that we have all of that out of the way, let's talk about how I think that you should shop this sale. I think first and foremost, base it off of your existing wish list. Don't get caught up in the hype. Don't get sucked into the viral stuff. I personally find it the easiest to avoid any impulsive shopping when I base it off of my working wish list. It's really hard to just kind of scroll through pages and pages of makeup and skincare and body care without letting your curiosity get the best of you in those moments. I find that looking at the wish list that I have been working on for a couple months helps me reflect on what I actually have been wanting, and when I let it sit for a while and then I revisit it, I can see just how much I want it. There's definitely been things that I've taken off and I've added based on what I'm feeling like that week, and there's no harm done. You can add, you can remove before you purchase. The second thing that I would encourage you guys to do is use your current preferences as a guideline. Like I said, we know that this sale reliably happens twice a year, and sometimes we'll have some pop up, and we also have individual site sales throughout the entire year. There will be plenty of opportunities to get something on sale, and I would say don't look forward and think like, oh, in the wintertime I'm gonna need a matte foundation while we still have spring, summer, and fall coming up. Kind of cater it to what you think you'll be using in those moments, because the most exciting thing about makeup and skincare and body care is just enjoying it and having fun with it. And it doesn't make sense to just tuck something away because you might need it at the end of the year. You really never know when your preferences will change. So even if what's trendy right now isn't what you're into, don't feel pressure to get the newest thing. And something that I really like to do before every single sale is review my wish list, and then I will use products that I think might be similar to it. Like I'll just pull things within my collection that I think are going to be kind of similar and see how I feel about it. See if it kind of scratches that itch, and it helps me realize, do I just want this because it's new, or do I want it because it's filling a gap within my collection? So for instance, for me, blush is a huge thing that I love to shop for, and I get really excited when I find a new nudie beige blush for my skin tone. So what I'll do is if I see something on Sephora's site that I'm like, ooh, I kind of want that, I will pull every single nudie beige blush that I think might be similar and play with them, see how I feel, see if it'll reignite a flame of love in me that will just stop that itch right there. Also, if you are an anxious shopper like me, if you get worried that things are going to sell out, I have a great hack for you, or at least I think it's great. If you're worried about something selling out, switch your preferred method of shipping to a buy online, pick up in store, or same day delivery, and see if it's around you. If it's available online and it's around you, it can kind of like ease that anxiety of things selling out. You can click down on the quantity of how many of that product you want, and typically it'll show you if there's less than 10 in stock. Sometimes it'll say there's 2 in stock, sometimes it'll say 10, and it's safe to assume they have plenty. It's not the most reliable. Every time I've done this, I will say that there have been times when things have sold out on me. However, if what you're trying to do is ease that anxiety and stop yourself from impulse buying something because you're scared it's going to sell out, this is a great way to kind of put into perspective how much time you have to decide if it's something that you actually want to buy. Now, if you really want to get organized about it, the first thing I would say is give yourself a budget. Look at your expenses, look at your bills for the month, look at the things you have coming up within the next like month or two. See what you have available to spend and strictly stick to that. Now, if you don't want to do that, or you do want to do that and do something in addition to it, give yourself guidelines on what you can and can't buy based on category. So for example, I cannot buy any more lip liners. I have more than I can count. So because of that, I'm not allowing myself to buy any more lip liners during this sale. And a really fun one, if you have the time and you have the energy or even the interest to do this, do an audit. Do an audit and see what you have finished up since the last sale this time last year. What have you finished within a year? What would you want to replenish? How did you feel throughout the lifespan of that product? Did you get tired of using it? Did you love it? This, I think, really helps me put things into perspective and understand if, again, what I'm getting excited about is a sale or the actual product. And the last way I think that you should shop the sale, and probably the most effective, is to go in store. Go in store, try to shop that way as best you can, because I have learned seeing things in person, playing with them, swatching them, it really, really helps me decide if it's something that I need. As much as you can, of course, try to be as hygienic as possible. I like to go in the morning before it gets like too chaotic in the beginning of the sale and see how it looks on yourself. See how it looks on your skin tone. See if you like the finish once it dries down. Smell fragrances. Spray them on yourself. Spray them on the little fragrance strips. I'll spray one fragrance here, one fragrance here, maybe I'll spray one fragrance here. I'll walk around for a while, keep sniffing them, and then I'll leave, go out and about, keep smelling it, see how long it lasts, see if I like it, see if it gives me a headache. And that really helps me to decide if it's something I want. Another really fun hack, and I feel like I don't see a lot of people doing this when you're shopping in person, swatch things in store and try to find something that you already own that's also in Sephora and swatch it right next to it. So for instance, if you have a coral blush shade that you have your eye on, but you know that you have a coral blush shade at home that might be kind of similar from another brand, go walk over to that other gondola, swatch it right next to the one you're thinking about getting, see how the formulas compare. How do the colors compare? Is the dry down what you want? Are they too similar? Is it going to complement your skin tone the way that you want it to? And also, what can this new product do that the one right next next to it on your hand can't do. You know, so ask yourself those questions, really see it, get next to a window in Sephora because we know Sephora lighting can be a little tricky. Look at it in your phone camera too, because I feel like it really translates different there as well. So that's a fun little hack. I will think things look similar in my head, but then when I get them swatched right next to each other, it gives me clear information right then and there. So really quickly, I'm going to show you guys what I have in my Sephora sale wish list so far in case you're curious. I don't really know if I'm going to be getting everything here or if I'm going to be adding or subtracting things, but this is just like my running list. And I really want to encourage you guys to think back at all of the things that you've purchased during past Sephora sales and really think about it. Like, have you used all of them to really make it worth it? Is there anything that you had returned because you just kind of impulse bought it out of habit? Because I know I have. And would you repurchase any of these products full price again? Do you have any regrets? You can see your purchase history on your Sephora account. So I really encourage you guys to kind of look back at that, and maybe you'll find things in there that you kind of forgot you bought, for better or for worse. Now more than ever, you guys, I think that it's really important to take care of ourselves and really look at what we need and what we don't need. But also remember to give yourself grace, and it's not a bad thing if you want to treat yourself. This can be a really, really fun experience or a very stressful one depending on your habits. Like I said, shopping addictions are real, so really take care of yourselves and kind of take a step back before you go all in. But with that being said, I really hope that you guys have so much fun shopping the sale if you choose to. Please share with all of us what you purchased and how it's working for you. I would love to know, as always. And until next time, I am going to leave a video here for you guys, and take care, and I will see you soon. Bye.